Hi guys, in this episode of Shri series, we're going to be talking about calculating profit. Alright, now if you've been seeing in my previous sessions, we talked about percentage increase, percentage decrease, and we also mentioned about the application of using percentages. And one of the topics that involves application of percentage increase or decrease is profit and loss. So what I've got here is I've got two questions. The first one here talks about making a profit as a percentage. And in the next question, we're going to be talking about calculating the selling price based on a profit. All right. So I'm going to read this question here. A manufacturer buys a cell phone for $150 and sells it for $250. All right. Calculate the percentage profit. All right. So before we go any further, it's important to understand when do you make a profit and when do you make a loss. In order to do that, you need to work out two things. You need to look and compare two things. One is the buying price and your selling price. So your buying price and your selling price. So these are the two things you need to know. All right. So your buying price is what you start off with. You buy it, as the name suggests. And the selling price is what you sell it. All right. The price that you sell. Now, if your selling price is greater than your buying price, you make a profit. All right. So if you sell at a greater price, a higher price than your buying price, then you end up making a profit. And that's how whole businesses operate. That's how stores, grocery stores, electronic stores, retail stores operate. They buy it at a wholesale and then sell it at a markup so they make some profit. However, what happens in a loss is the other way around. So in a loss, when your buying price becomes greater than your selling price, then you incur a loss. All right. So that's the basic concept. So when your selling price is greater than your buying price, you make a profit. But if your selling price is less than your buying price, you make a loss. All right. So let's look at this question. So I'll just rub this out. Just wanted to give you guys a brief introduction to profit and loss in terms of selling and buying price. All right. So if you look at the situation here, what's happening is the person buys a cell phone for $150. So if you write that down, that's my buying price. And my selling price is $250. So you know very well that this person has well and truly made a profit. All right, because your selling price is greater than your buying price. So it even says in the question, calculate the percentage profit, because it assumes it assumes you know that you've been selling at a greater price than the buying price. All right. So the first thing you need to do is you find the difference, just like how you get percentage change. So what do we do there? You go 250 minus 150, and you're going to get $100. All right. So that's the difference between the selling price and your buying price. So you've made $100 profit. But the question is asking you for a percentage profit. If the question asks you what's the profit as a dollar value, that becomes $100. But what you want to do is you want to find the percentage profit. All right. So remember, if you looked at my previous video, when you're trying to find out the percentage change, you get the difference. And your denominator has to be the original, what you start off with, which in this case is your buying price. So what you do there is it's going to be 100 divided by 150, and you multiply it by 100. All right, so it's going to be 100 divided by 150, which is your buying price, and then you multiply it by 100 because it's a percentage profit. And you're going to get 66.7%. All right. So that's how much of a profit that this manufacturer has made. All right. 66.7% of a profit. So what we need to do, we subtract and then you divide it over your original buying price and multiply it by 100. So this is how you get the percentage profit. Just remember that $100 is your percentage, that's your profit that you've made as a dollar value. The 66.7% is your percentage profit. All right. Now let's move on to another question here. All right. So I'll read this question out. A businessman bought a sound system for $7,000 and sold it at a profit of 40%. Calculate the selling price. All right. Now we know from here that this person has made a profit of 40%. All right. And the buying price or the cost price. So some textbooks tend to use buying price. Some textbooks tend to use the cost price because that's how much that's the cost before you sell it. All right. So in this situation, we're looking at the buying price. Okay. Now, if you compare the previous question, you had your cost price and your selling price. You were told to find the percentage profit or loss. In this question, they've told you the percentage profit, they've told you your cost price, you need to now find out the selling price. So the question's tweaked a little bit, all right? So what I'll do here is I'll write down what information we've got here. So that's the cost price, or in this case, I would say the buying price. So the buying price, that's $7,000, and your percentage profit, that's 40%, and we need to find out the selling price. All right, so we've been given that information. Now there are two steps that we can use to solve this question. So I'll show you step 1 and then step 2. Then it's up to you to decide which method you would like to adopt in your upcoming tests or exams. All right. So let's look at step 1. So you know very well from the information that this manufacturer has made a profit of 40%. Therefore, that selling price will be greater than $7,000. If you calculate and you find out that the amount or the selling price is less than $7,000, then you've made a mistake. So your answer has to be greater than $7,000. So let's look at step 1. All right, so the first thing you do is you go 40 over 100, so 40% over 100 times 7,000. All right, and that now becomes 2,800. Now that 2,800 is the profit you've made as a dollar value. All right, so that 2,800 is the profit you've made. And if you want to find out the selling price, what you now do is you add $7,000. And that's going to be $9,800 as your selling price. In other words, your selling price is now going to be $9,800. So that's the first step. All right, that's the first method you can use. You go 40 over 100 times 7,000, and then you add $7,000 because the addition tells you that this businessman has made a profit. All right, so that's step 1. Let's look at step 2. So with step 2, you got to remember that this person's made a profit, and because it's a profit, you're adding on to the percentage. So what's going to happen is it's going to be 100% plus 40%, and you're going to get 140%. All right. The reason why we're adding 100% is because it's a profit. So in other words, your selling price is going to be greater. It elevates further. If it's a loss, you subtract. All right. So you're going to get 100% plus 40%, and you're going to get 140%. And then what you do from there is you go 140 divided by 100, because that's what 140% is. It's 140 divided by 100, multiply it by 7,000. All right, and you're going to get 9,800. Just like what you got in the first step. All right. So both steps obviously will give you the same answer, which in this case is 9,800. All right. So that's step two. All right. So with step two, as a summary, because it's a profit, you're going to get 100 plus 40. That's going to be 140%, which is 140 over 100 multiplied by 7,000, and you're going to get 9,800 question. Sorry, $9,800 as your selling price. So in a nutshell, we solved two questions involving profit. All right. We've worked out how to get the percentage profit, and we've also worked out how to get the selling price from your percentage profit and your cost price. All right. When your selling price is greater than your cost price, you're going to make a profit. And when your selling price is less than your cost price, you're going to make a loss. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye now.